Hi, I'm gonna do a walkthrough of the Lemur template that I designed for the TX81Z. The TX81Z is a 4-operator FM synth from Yamaha. It was built in the mid to late 80s, and it's a 1U rack mount unit. It does have full programming capabilities, which can be accessed from the front panel buttons. But I thought, a template with Lemur would be much nicer for editing the various voice parameters. So, yeah, the purpose of the template is just focused on the voice itself, which includes the operators and the envelopes. There's 3 pages to the template. We have an operators page, which includes mostly like tuning parameters, waveform, selector, output of each operator. As you can see, it's broken down into 4 containers for each operator. They all have identical parameters with the exception of operator 4, which has a feedback control. At the top here we have an algorithm menu selector, which allows you to select any of the 8 operators that are available. Enable operators menu will turn on and off various operator combinations. Yamaha didn't provide any kind of system exclusive interface message to turn off each operator, to turn on and off operators individually. They just have like this combination mode. So I'll show you how that works in a little bit. At the bottom we have LFO parameters, portamento, reverb, mod and pitch wheel parameters. And in the right hand corner we have the key mode, which is either polyphonic or monophonic, and then a transpose control, so you can transpose the keyboard. Envelope generator page, we have 4 containers for each of the operators' envelope generators. And on the 3rd page, there's a tutorial patch, which provides basically, I guess, like a patch sheet for the lately bass preset that's on the TX81Z. The tutorial page also has a set of buttons down below that will initialize each operator and some of the voice parameters to a bass sound, I guess you can say, so you can build your sound from scratch. And finally, at the top here, we have the MIDI send channel. I have the TX81Z currently set to receive on Omni. If you want to set it to a particular MIDI channel, you can set which channel Lemur sends on using this menu item here. I've used it with channel 1 just fine. I noticed it started to get a little quirky when I was changing the MIDI channel, the receive channel on the 81Z, and trying to set it from the menu. So you might have to play around with that to get that to work correctly, but it should work. And just to note, as I was making some changes, MIDI changes to the TX81Z, occasionally I would get a MIDI buffer filled message on the screen. Just watch out for that. It will still, whatever you're changing will still change the parameter. It will just sort of freeze up MIDI control, and to get out of it, all you need to do is just hit any of the buttons on the front panel, and then you can continue on editing the sound. So, first page here, as I said, we got 4 containers for each operator. We have like output frequency, fine tune, detune, velocity control, the waveform selector. We have sine plus all the other waveforms that are available, and then LFO controls the waveform, LFO rate, delay, pitch modulation sensitivity, amp mod depth, portamento time, reverb rate, so forth and so on. on the envelope generators, we have, I'm using the breakpoint controller in Lemur. It didn't work out exactly how I planned for. Maybe I just don't know some trick in Lemur, but the the controls here, there's 4 breakpoints that you'll use to modify the attack, decay 1, decay 2, and the release time of the envelopes. And then there's a decay 1 level control, and then the EG shift control. What I found out is in order to set like the attack, for example, to it's actually the shortest value, which is 31, which is the shortest attack time. You'd have to move this control completely over to the right, because on the breakpoint controller, the values are 0 to max, 0 on the far left to max on far right, and typically when you see an envelope visually like this, the decay value will be at 0 wherever like the attack value ends, and decays, so forth and so on. So it didn't quite work out like that, but it still works, and I'll show you how that does work when I go through the tutorial here. So, tutorial page. First off, I got lately bass actually already programmed or pulled up from the presets. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to initialize all the parameters to return to just like a bass sound, so we can rebuild the lately bass from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and hit all these buttons, and there you go. As you can see, I got the MIDI buffer full, so just hit any button there and it'll clear that out. It should have initialized all those parameters, even though it did that. But so, and we'll go ahead and initialize operator 1. You can see it goes through all the menus, resetting the values. It's 3, and operator 4, and yeah, that one usually causes the MIDI buffer full. So we'll just go ahead and clear that out. And you know what, let me hit this one more time. And it's going to do that again. Well, anyways, it'll get you pretty close to a bass sound. So to start, we'll go ahead and set some of these voice parameters. We have the enabled operators, all 4 operators are enabled, and we're using algorithm 2 in the lately bass. So let's go ahead and set that up. It actually looks like it's already on 2, but let's go ahead and change that to 2. Enable all 4 operators. Sometimes you have to select off of something for it to pick up. I picked the wrong one. So you can see up in the top left corner display, each one of those digits there represent the operators. Value of 0 is disabled, value of 1 is enabled, so they're all enabled. Continue on. We got poly mode set to poly, which is now on. LFO wave is triangle, rate 25, delay 0. So let's go ahead and set that. Triangle, rate 25. Yeah, close enough. Delay and 0. Sync is off. Pitch mod sensitivity of 5. So this is off. Pitch mod sensitivity set to 5. Amp mod 0. Should already be zeroed out. Pitch mod depth is 7. 7. Amp mod 0, pitch bend range 2, mod wheel 50. So mod wheel 50, pitch bend 2. Transpose is C2 and reverb is off. So with the reverb off, set this to C2. So moving on to the first operator, we have the sine wave, full output 99, and frequency ratio of 0.5. So the W1 is the sine wave. Set the output to 99 and frequency of 0.5. Detune is 0. It should already be set. 0. So, and then in the envelope we have an attack of 31, decay of 9. So let's go ahead and drag this. And this is what I was talking about here. As you can see, to get it to 31, which is kind of backwards. 31 is actually, I guess, the shortest attack time. You'd think 0 would be that, but I guess it's not. Or I'm just confused on this patch. Decay value 9. Decay level 1, decay 1 level 0, decay 2 0, and envelope release is 8. So this is set to 0. Decay 2 is going to be 0, and then release is going to be 8. That's 9. 8. Shift 96, which is already set. That's the default. Velocity 0. That'd be this. Velocity 0. Amp mod sensitivity is disabled, and EG bias sensitivity is at 0. 0. Amp mod disabled. Moving on to operator 2, we got a sine, output of 74, frequency of 1/2. So let's turn this up to 74. What was that? Sine wave. Sine. And this is set to 0.5. So right now, I don't know, I may have lost my keyboard. I'm using a merge connection box, by the way, to control from both the keyboard and my iPad interface. And right now I may have lost my keyboard, but I'll get back to that. Actually, let me see if I can get that up now. Anytime that happens, I notice if you just go into the MIDI control and kind of just change, just change the parameter once, it will fix that. Once you get everything set, it shouldn't be an issue. So let's get back to programming. Detune 0, which we should already be at. 0. So we got attack of 31, decay of 9. Attack of 31, decay of 9. Decay 1 level 0, decay 2 0, release 8. Pretty much identical to the other operator. So that's 0, 0, 8. So here we do have a sound here. It's getting there. Shift, EG shift 96, velocity 0, rate scaling medium. Make sure it's set. I forgot to change that on here. Set that medium, velocity 0. Amp mod sensitivity disabled, EG bias sensitivity 0, which is all set. So operator 3, we have waveform 5, output of 71, frequency of 1. So this is 71. Waveform 5, 6, 5, and a frequency of 1. It's a little difficult using this iPad at this angle, so bear with me. Yep. There we go. Detune of -3. -3. We got an attack of 31, decay 1 of 17. 31, 17. decay 1 level 0, decay 2 0, release 8. 0, decay 2 0, release 8. And I lost my keyboard, so like I said, once you're done editing, it might just be my setup here, but once you're done editing the parameters, the keyboard shouldn't cut out again. That's just something with my setup. EG shift 96, velocity of 1. EG's already set to 96. Velocity 1. Rate scaling medium, level scaling 0. 0. EG bias, this is off. EG bias 0. And finally, we have operator 4. Got the sine wave, W1. Feedback is set to 7. So the feedback on that one. Output is 79. Frequency ratio 1. This probably would work much better with a stylus, or if I had it on my lap. Oh, come on. Let's try this again. There we go, 1. Detune 0, already at 0. We got attack of 31, decay of 16, decay level 3. So we can drag us over 31. What was this again? 16. And decay level 3. Is it? Yeah. Decay 2 is at 7 and releases 8. Release 8. Shift 96, which is already set, which is actually off on the display. Velocity 3, rate scaling full. Velocity 3, rate scaling full. Is that right? Should be 0. Yeah, if it's already set on here and it wasn't set correctly on here, you have to just go and change it back. Level scaling 0, amp mod disabled, EG, so all this stuff disabled. That's all that's zeroed. Alright, so now let me go back in here, flip the channel, we should have our lately bass. And there you have it, that is the lately bass patch. One thing you can do real quickly with this particular patch is if you want to get some other bass sounds, you can just change up the algorithm. 3, and it sounds a little bit the same. A little bit softer sound there, I like that one actually. 4, 5. So some other bass sounds you can get by just changing the algorithm. So that is it. And again, in the tutorial page, you can always reset all the parameters, initialize them to a bass sound as I showed at the beginning. So thanks for watching.